Now here's a point that I want to make for you. No matter what you came in here with, some of you came in with some financial crisis going on. Some of you came in, your marriage is burning down. Some of you came in, you've lost your job, you're having a career crisis. Some of your kids are off the rails. No matter what you came in here with, the weight of the world, let me tell you, God can draw you out of that and use it for your good and his glory. Romans 8:28, for all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. No matter what you came in with, God can draw you out. Use it for your good and his glory, no matter what. Remember, every moment has meaning. Every moment of Moses' life mattered, and every moment of your life matters. Every moment has meaning, right? And so, think of all the ironies in this story. Think of them. First, Pharaoh appoints the Nile as the means of destruction for the Hebrew babies. God uses the Nile as the means of salvation for Moses. Moses' mother throws Moses into the Nile as Pharaoh commanded, but God used the Nile to save Moses, right? And just the ironies here. Think about this. God allowed the girls to live, just kill the boys. And it was a girl, Moses' sister, who comes along, and is walking and puts this plan together. And God used Moses' sister to derail Pharaoh's plan. Just think of all the ironies here. I mean, Moses' mom is literally paid to do what pleased her heart more than anything else. Just think of the ironies. Now think about this. Moses spends his childhood growing up in the best schools, in the best leadership environment, part of Pharaoh's court, to learn all the leadership that he will ever need to redeem God's people and lead an entire nation. Pharaoh's thinking, I'm wiping the Hebrews out, and God's laughing and said, dude, I've got my man right under your nose, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. Listen, we can learn some amazing things. And we can learn that, listen, evil things are going to happen because people make stupid choices, right? People do stupid stuff. When things like ISIS are happening, ISIS trying to sweep Central Asia and take over the world, and you're thinking, wow, I mean, how's that? Here's what you need to know. God can use evil for his glory, and you're good. He can even bless us with our enemies as he did this time, as he did in this story, right? He can have our enemies to bless. God is in control. God is sovereign. Every moment matters. And listen, you got to fight fear with faith. Fight fear with faith. Now let me say a word as I wrap this up to you as a church. Because I want you to know what's going on around the world. I want to remind you, some of you know this, some of you are new to the church. I want to remind you what's going on around our world because this church has decided to fight fear with faith, okay? Man, we've started campuses. We've got the Stewart's Creek campus 4 miles from here that we've had to add space because they're out of space for children. We're getting ready to open up the Murfreesboro campus in 2 months from now, roughly 2 months from now. Many of you are going to go be a part of that to help launch that. We've started campuses in Brussels, Belgium, and things are going so phenomenal there now. We've started campus in Bangkok, and things are going phenomenal. We've had people, we're training the young guys to be pastors. We've had a guy 2 of the last 3 weeks in Bangkok, a Thai guy preach that's a part of our church that will eventually go pastor a Thai church. We've had guys now starting to preach in French in Brussels that will go plant French-speaking churches in Brussels. God is using you to literally rock the world. Listen, we're seeing marriages saved. We're seeing people's lives radically transformed, and God does all that. The hero of this story is not Moses. It's not Amram and Jochebed. The hero of every story is no one other than God, right? But God uses people. God uses people. Now let me tell you, God is the one that's doing all that, but he's used you as an instrument, this church. Now, in using you to do that, he's used you for a reason. And part of that reason is because you fought fear with faith. We could have at any time said, why are we starting a campus in Brussels? And why are we starting a campus in Bangkok? Why are we sending missionaries? That costs a lot of money. We could spend that money right here. I mean, that costs us people. It costs us leadership. The laws are crazy. Man, who knows? We could at any time we could have said, man, I don't know, that's risk. That's a risk. We just need to focus here. But you said, no, man, let's ask the right questions and let's put pedal to the metal. Risk for the glory of God. Listen, that's why God is using this church. And I want to challenge you to never, ever, ever play it safe as a church. Never play it safe. I promise you, the world is full of churches that play it safe. And listen, I don't have time to play it safe. I wouldn't even be here if we were going to play it safe. You wouldn't be here, I hope. If we ever start playing it safe as a church, I'll be the first to tell you, go find you a church that's willing to take risks, because if this one's going to play it safe, you need to be somewhere else. But I promise you, as long as you allow me to be here and God has me here, we're not going to play it safe, okay? We're not going to play it safe. We're going to not play church. We're going to take risks, be bold and daring for the kingdom, because, listen, we got to fight fear with faith. We got to fight fear with faith. And that, folks, is what's going to rock the world. You're making a difference in this world that you don't even know. You are responsible for Thais coming to know Jesus, for French-speaking Belgians coming to know Jesus. You're responsible for some families being together today because of the ministry. God does that, but He's used you to do it. And you don't even know all that. Thank you for being that church. Thank you for being that church. Thank you for being that church. I can't say it enough. Man, thank you for doing what you do. Now, as an individual, let me challenge you to fight fear with faith. Fight fear with faith. Man, fear keeps so many Christians from attempting anything. And fear keeps so many Christians, and their life is bogged down with fear, and it keeps them from doing anything for the kingdom. I challenge you to fight fear with faith. Some of you today need to commit to being baptized because you've been redeemed, but you're afraid for whatever reason of being in front of people. You're afraid. You need to fight fear with faith and schedule your baptism. Some of you guys, some of you men, you need to start leading your family. You need to start planning a family devo time, a family devotional time, a prayer time with your family. Maybe you were redeemed a week ago, but you need to start leading now. It doesn't matter. And so you say, I'm afraid, I don't know how. If it's just Jesus, thank you for my family. I love them. Thank you for giving them to me. Amen. If that's where you start, great. That's an example that you're trusting God to your kids. Some of you say, I'm afraid. You need to fight fear with faith. Some of you need to start a Bible study at work. I'm afraid I'll get fired. So what? Get another job. It's easy for me to say, right? I start a Bible study here, I might get fired. Listen, some of you you're afraid. Fight fear with faith. That's my point. What is it that you're afraid of? Where is fear keeping you out of the game and on the bench? That's what you need to work through and say, God, I need to fight fear with faith in this area. I need to fight fear with faith. Man, there were several people came up to me afterward, and I saw examples of how they fought fear with faith and what God has done. Amazing, amazing. So I challenge you to fight fear with faith and get in the game. You got to pray. You better not depend on yourself because you'll fall flat on your face. And you have got to trust God. You got to trust God because He's in control, you're not, but you got to work like everything. You got to get busy. You got to make good decisions. And listen, you can't be a dead fish floating downstream. You got to work and be strong and be committed. And you got to get up because let me tell you something, nobody's ever changed the world from a lazy boy, okay? So you got to get busy. You got to get busy. Pray hard, trust God, and work hard. Pray hard, work hard. Trust God. Don't depend on yourself. Fight fear with faith. Where are those areas in your life? Where are those areas that are keeping you back, that are stifling your life spiritually? Fight. Learn that from Amram and Jochebed. Listen, Moses' name, listen, it's in the marquee. Most people don't even know Amram and Jochebed. But let me tell you something. They are as much a part of this story and as important to this story as Moses because they were faithful. They fought fear with faith. Listen, I promise you don't ever know what your faithfulness is going to do to rock the world for centuries to come. Fight fear with faith.